In my last video, I had my wife try to explain the science behind BNGO stock, and of course, as I expected, it wasn't well received. Not a lot of people want to listen to the science, they just want to be told that stocks go up. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my cautious optimism for BNGO stock. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, y'all. My name is Greg, and I make videos about stocks and options trading. And today, we're going to be talking about BNGO. A lot of people said that I had a very bearish tone towards the stock in my latest video, and they're probably going to be calling me two-faced for this one, but they obviously didn't stick around all the way to the end where I gave a $16 price target. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on some upcoming bull catalysts for the stock that could potentially continue to send it up. First, we're going to be talking about the potential of FDA approval. Then we're going to be talking about their superior technology to PacBio and how everybody is comparing the two. Third, we're going to cover ARKG and how they might possibly invest into the stock. And finally, at the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you the most imminent bull catalyst coming up in just a few days, which is going to be bionano genomics SYMPOSIUM. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this type of content where I keep it real with you, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. With that out of the way, let's get into the first bull catalyst. The first bull argument that I want to bring up is the potential of FDA approval. And this could potentially be huge for the stock if it actually happens, just like whenever we saw them get certified by the College of American Physicians with a CAP. In reality though, CAP approval and FDA approval are two completely different ballgames. CAP approval is basically like a pat on the back saying, oh yay, your technology works. And I already knew that their technology works. Otherwise they'd be spending a whole lot of research and development money on a whole lot of nothing. But the issue with FDA approval is we have to consider the odds of this actually going through. To my knowledge, the only thing that's going for them in terms of FDA approval is somebody that works for them, previously worked for another company that got approval by the FDA. But just saying that because this person got X company approved by the FDA doesn't necessarily mean that it can get Y company the same certification. Different companies have different technologies, and FDA approval is based on whether your technology actually works. Which bionano genomics has technology that actually works. I believe that, and I believe that is better than the competition. We'll get into that later whenever we talk about PacBio. But first, I want to talk about the prospectus. In their latest 13F SEC filings, there's been no mention of FDA approval. The last time they talked about this was way back in 2018. In their 13F filed back in 2018, they said, even if we obtain a PMA or a 510K clearance where required, such authorization may not be for the use or uses we believe are commercially attractive and are critical to the commercial success of our products. As a result, being subject to FDA's pre-market review or post-market control requirements for our products could materially and adversely affect our business, financial condition, and results of operations. And ever since this, there's been no documentation in terms of their prospectus to give us an idea on whether they're working on FDA approval. And I just want to point out the last sentence in that 13F file one more time. As a result, being subject to the FDA's pre-market review or post-market control requirements for our products could materially and adversely affect our business, financial conditions, and results of operations. And the difference between CAP approval and FDA approval is night and day. FDA approval is much more time consuming and capital intensive than getting certified by the College of American Physicians. And this is an issue that is going to plague this company: cash burn. An expert on this matter, Tom Nash, gave his opinion on their financials, pointing out both their revenue and their expenses. And here's what he had to say.
What you need to understand is the company is heavy on cash burn. What you need to understand is that this company is burning through more cash than a drunk Russian grandpa in an American casino.
I'll leave the link to that video down in the description below, but the gist of it is that this company is burning through so much cash they might not be around next year. And that's pretty common to see in biotech stocks where a company gains a lot of hype, loses all that steam, and then basically disappears off the face of the earth. Now that might be a bit dramatic, but the point I'm trying to get out here is the question of if bionano genomics can actually afford FDA approval. A lot of people are going to say they can just do a stock offering to conjure up that cash, but let's not forget that just a couple of weeks ago, this was a penny stock on the verge of being delisted. That's not to say that they're going to become penny stock again. They might not ever come back down to these $1 price levels, since everybody is buying into it, thinking that they're going to become a millionaire. And that's an idea that a lot of YouTubers have been spreading about buying into BNGO. And these same YouTubers that are saying you can become a millionaire if you buy into BNGO are the same people that are comparing them to PacBio, and rightfully so. This is one of the few bull catalysts that's actually been confirmed for the stock, and the rest of it is all based on speculation. PacBio did claim in a joint report with bionano genomics that bionano genomics has better technology whenever it comes to detecting large variations. Again, I'm not doubting that Sapphire actually works and that it's better better than the competition, but comparing PacBio to bionano genomics makes absolutely no sense. The bulls on the stock are trying to make a direct comparison to PacB and BNGO, but this is basically like comparing the price of 10 apples to a single orange. The difference between these two companies is that PacBio has multiple technologies for sequencing, whereas BNGO only has a single technology, Sapphire, which can detect large variations through genome mapping. So we're talking about two completely different processes with genome mapping and genome sequencing. They're different. Since PacBio has multiple products and technologies to offer, unlike bionano genomics with only the Sapphire, this means that PacBio can cover a much larger part of the genomic research field. From my wife, who's a scientist and her research in this company, from what we can tell, right now long-read sequencing outside of academic research and clinical labs doesn't have a lot of use cases. And we believe that it's mostly going to be used by academic research labs that are focused on genomics. So the adoption of this technology likely isn't what a lot of people are expecting it to be. This could end up changing since the medical field is always evolving, but from what we know right now, this isn't that big of a deal. In no way am I saying that this technology isn't useful. It's definitely a step forward from biomedical research and getting to better healthcare, but you just can't compare a company with multiple products like PacBio to a company with a single technology like bionano genomics. Another thing that a lot of YouTubers are trying to hype up is ARKG possibly investing into BNGO. And before we get into that, I just want to show that the institutional ownership for BNGO stock is only 5.6%. This means that less than 6% of the total outstanding shares of this company are held by institutional investors like JP Morgan and Vanguard Group. These companies basically buy into any stock that they can get their hands on, and their position in the stock compared to their total portfolio is basically the equivalent like you and me investing just a few dollars into BNGO. Now that's not to say that institutional investors can't start to pile into the stock. They certainly could, and ARK Invest might be the next one to jump on board. Everyone is talking about how ARK Invest and Cathie Woods are in talks to buying into BNGO. And from what I can tell, this was because of a tweet from Simon Barnett, who's a representative for the ARKG portfolio. Simon said that he would love to speak with the CEO, Eric Coleman, that way he can get some more ideas about what the company is doing. And it seems to me like he is indeed in talks with BNGO, trying to figure out more about the company, that way they can decide whether or not they want to buy in. But just because he's in talks with them doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna buy in. He shared his thoughts on bionano genomics in a Twitter thread, which I'll have linked below, and this basically confirms everything that my wife and I said back in my last video. And just as a nice little bonus, he said, and I quote, "To YouTubers and vloggers, please don't spread rumors. Instead, try to hear my angle, come up with your own take, or give insight where I might be wrong so I can learn." So basically, like I said, a lot of YouTubers are trying to hype the stock up, spreading a lot of misinformation. And I'm not going to be one to tell you I told you so. I'm not an asshole. A lot of people are actually going to get hurt because of all the misinformation from these YouTubers. Like I said earlier, a lot of bulls are comparing PacBio to bionano genomics, which actually makes no sense. And basically, the argument here is that since PacB is ARK's #1 investment in their ARKG portfolio, that means they're going to end up buying into BNGO. But like we talked about earlier, these are two completely different companies, one with multiple products to offer, and the other, bionano genomics, with only a single technology for genome mapping. So to assume that ARK Invest is going to buy in because they have their largest position in PacBio doesn't make any sense. What I'm really trying to get at here is that PacBio has a lot more inherent value than bionano genomics. I think, and this is just my own opinion based on my own theories, if ARK decides to throw a dog a bone and invest into BNGO, it's probably going to be a very small position. This is complete speculation though. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'd imagine if they buy into BNGO, it's only going to be a fraction of what they put into PacB. But what do I know? ARK Invest is a whole lot more intelligent than I am, and they might be picking up on something that I'm missing here. Maybe ARK and their experts in the genomics field will come to the realization that there's actually more use cases in the future for the Sapphire technology, and they'll put a little bit of more money down on it. Also, another point that I want to bring up with ARK investing into BNGO is that they're kind of late to the party. I could justify this if they were buying in at $1 or $2, but since they've soared up so much over the past week, the longer they wait and the higher it goes, the more risk that they're taking on. That being said, even if ARK invests just the tiniest bit into BNGO, it's probably going to send their stock soaring because everybody with a pulse and a finance YouTube channel is going to be making a video titled ARKG finally buys BNGO. And finally, the last bull catalyst that I want to talk about is the SYMPOSIUM. This event is coming up just in a few days from January 11th to January 15th, where scientists are going to be showing off their research and the applications applications that they found with Sapphire. The scientists that are going to be presenting have been working with Sapphire for a while now, and they likely scored a super deep discount on this technology to help bionano genomics work out the kinks within Sapphire. And whenever they reveal their research, there's two cases that could play out here. One, this could end up like Battery Day, where investors don't understand a word of what they're saying and they sell out of their stock accordingly. Or what's more possible, average investors are going to hear these scientists talk about their research in cancer and then assume that Sapphire can cure cancer, sending their stocks skyrocketing. Considering that almost 90% of the holdings in this company are left to retail investors like you and me, this is probably more likely to be the case. But it's important to remember that these scientists are going to be showing off their research with Sapphire. It's not like they're going to be unveiling some brand new technology that's going to change what BNGO is already doing. These scientists are basically going to be showing off the data that they found with Sapphire and the use cases for their technology. Obviously, this is all just my own opinion based on my wife and I's research into this company, and if you want to find out more, we have a recorded call with a bionano genomics representative where we talked about their Sapphire technology, how it works, and its limitations, and also we're going to be holding a Q&A session in my premium Discord, which you can find in my Patreon, which is going to be linked down in the description below, where you can ask about BNGO stock or any other genomic stocks you might have questions about. I want to thank my current patrons for their support. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video, and as always, remember to stay positive, stay green. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.